Oi, oi, alright, how's it going? I'm Grant, you're you, and this is Doodle Review, the channel that's willing to talk about any genre from vaporware to psychedelics, psychobilly. I'm willing to talk about that stuff, but today we're talking about crosses. Who are crosses? Well, crosses are a two-piece dark wave synth rock project from Deftones frontman Chino Moreno and longtime friend and collaborator Sean Lopez, taking its musical direction from the likes of Depeche Mode and general vibe from goth pioneers like Bauhaus. The music is brooding, electronic and dramatic. While technically this is the group's second full-length LP of original materials, in many ways it kind of feels like the first. The project has had a very uneven and unusual practice of releasing material over its 12-year history. They initially came out with an EP in 2011 with the intention to release two more soon after, but only one more actually arrived until the first self-titled album in 2014. However, that album really just served as a compilation of that originally planned trilogy of EPs. After that, the project lay somewhat dormant for 6 or 7 years until a random string of singles, and now this, Goodnight, God Bless, I Love You, Delete. A full-fledged album in the traditional sense with 15 original tracks. And while die-hard fans of the project, Moreno or Deftones will have luxuriated in the wealth of material here, to me, with a more objective viewpoint, I feel like while including moments of brilliance, the excitement to deliver more material than they ever have before has led to kind of an overstuffed, bloated album. I feel like across the full 15 tracks, occasionally it feels like there are moments of deja vu where a song is treading similar sonic territory to a song that's just been or is right around the corner, but just not doing it as well. Last Rites, for instance, just seems like a less exciting version of something we heard with Found or Light as a Feather early on in the record. Furthering this view that the kind of record's extensive track list comes more from a desire to indulge the fans rather than because every song is genuinely top tier, are some occasionally rushed or that'll do moments of production. Now, on the whole, I'll say this record is sonically put together really nicely. It's got great sound design, texture and mixing, but that makes it all the more jarring when in occasional moments, as on Runner or even otherwise highlights like Girls Float, Boys Cry, which we'll definitely come back to, but on these songs there are some pretty stock, almost garage band sounding drum pads used. It's probably a stylistic choice. Obviously a great deal of the tracks use drum machines, but I feel like most are treated to give like a little extra sprinkling of flavour, but on the odd cut you just hear some preset sounding beats which just completely threw me, to be honest. Among some of the B-tier tracks and some odd choices in the finer details of the production are just a few tracks that I feel set an amazing tone. They really set a vibe or a mood, but just can't find that next gear or that next level or even a resolution to take you lower if not higher. That opener Pleasure in particular really puzzled me because there's so much opportunity with this super intense pulsing synth, which actually sonically is a great way to open this thing. You have that synth and then a resolution to a cool spooky melodic vocal part. It's cool, but then it just kind of doubles back on itself. It's not bad, it's not irritating or annoying, it's just a bit like, oh, deflating. In many ways, I draw comparisons to the 9 Inch Nails sister band How to Destroy Angels. From a casual fan's perspective, it seems like Crosses was formed in order for Chino Moreno to pursue styles of music that interested him outside of Deftones and also kind of break out of the formula of what's expected from that particular alternative metal band. Trent Reznor did a similar thing, going from 9 Inch Nails to How to Destroy Angels, actually landing on a project with that. It doesn't sound too dissimilar from Crosses. It's a little more minimal, but still very dark, goth and electronic. In both cases though, the chosen style of the sister project was a perfect fit for the artist, but there becomes such a hesitation to utilise many, if not any of the production or songwriting tools in their arsenal from that main project, that it sometimes hamstrings the songs into not fully crescendoing in the way that they could. In this album I hear that most clearly on Pleasure, on Pulsar Plug and Ghost Ride, which just don't stick the landing despite some really cool parts. All that being said, and I said a lot of kind of negative stuff there, I have to give it up for some of the great tracks on this record. Found is the first true highlight for me here. It opens with atmospheric sound design and then this completely batshit crazy beat with these huge echoey tub kind of sounds, all of which give way to a really nice melodic chorus that underneath includes some beautifully understated bass guitar. That is followed up instantly by Light as a Feather that features these airy, almost kind of like panpipe style synths with harps that evoke imagery of a Japanese garden. Again, the bass is really tastefully played, providing groove but also a dark tonality before Moreno's vocals explode into the chorus. And these two tracks, I think, feature the most examples of the sonic vibe Crosses are seeking, distilled into consistently gripping songwriting. The next real banger for me is Big Youth, with a nice crunchy bass guitar over a cool beat that has lots of movements to it. Although Moreno's aggressive vocal parts feel a bit forced at first, they do evolve and provide some great contrast to the melodic segments. And we also get a feature from New York rapper LP, who goes way harder on his guest verse than he had any need to. The following epilogue to this track is pretty fantastic as well. There's a bit of a lull after this point, featuring a lot of the parts I've kind of already taken the album to task for earlier in this review, but then we get to Girls Float and Boys Cry, a real standout, and what I can only imagine became a dream come true for Chino Moreno, getting Robert Smith of The Cure on his track. I'm not really a Cure guy, to be honest, but his vocals on this track are fantastic and really elevate what is already a darkly seductive track. Finally, the album's title track comes in, becoming a fantastic closer. I particularly love this track because the synth tone used really feels like a tribute to some of the sounds found on the My Bloody Valentine album Loveless, and it's used here to perfection. So really, this is a mixed bag for me. There's some stuff I legitimately love, but there's just a lot of material to wade through, and some of it, like that snooze of a run from Last Rites to Grace, just comes and goes without really making any impact. So with all that said, I'd give this a 6 out of 10 overall. Thanks for listening to me chat faff about the record. It's not a free review though, there's a price. You just got to hit subscribe though, and drop me a comment, tell me, am I right, am I wrong, did you love this album, are you a fan of Deftones, are you a fan of Crosses, what's your favourite track? Tell me all that, and tell me, show some love, share some thoughts, or just house some abuse in the comments. That's what they're there for. Check out some other videos in the link below to some other reviews that you might find interesting. Alright, okay, cheers mate, bye.